Hello everyone, my name is Alyona Lavrentieva and today we have Natasha Rakoc as our guest on the video call. She is the creator of a unique Russian cosmetics brand that specializes in collaborations. Basically, there are no individual products and the whole point is that absolutely all the cosmetics are produced in collaboration with someone. And that's actually really cool because it's great to get inspired and motivated by professionals, each in their own field. And today we're going to talk about the brand Russian Beauty Guru.
Alyona, hi. I'm very glad that we agreed, and today we'll show what we've achieved. We created a cosmetics collaboration together with Alyona Lavrentieva, and I'm incredibly happy because you all know her very well. But those who work with makeup will probably just be getting to know what Alyona does. Because, as we found out, these are two different worlds, those who work in nail services and those who work in makeup. So today we'll bring these two worlds together, introduce them, talk about their features, and we'll do it with the help of, well, not just conversations, but with a specific product of our very own cosmetic solid business, as they say. We came up with a hand and foot cream together and added fragrance to it.
Yes, it's a fragranced line of hand and foot creams, but actually they are also perfect for the body, so basically it's a universal product. We're going to talk about its scents and their origins now, but first I'd like to highlight one detail. The brand is called Russian Beauty Guru, and the word Russian is there for a reason, because all of these cosmetics, absolutely everything, including the packaging, are produced here in Russia. So, in my opinion, this is the most patriotic brand. And actually, that's what caught my attention about your cosmetics. You probably don't know this story, but I'll tell it quickly now. Actually, I first discovered Russian Beauty Guru about 3 or 4 years ago, when you came in as partners and put gifts in the bags at Beauty Day Pro Nail. It was a long time ago. Back then you only had black bombs. I remember there was a palette, oh my, what was it called? The first universal one. Sunsets, sunrises and Black Moscow.
Black Moscow?
Yes. Yes, I had this palette and you gave me mascara and the straight hands eyeliner as a gift. I laughed for a long time at that name and I remember exactly how I was unwrapping that gift in the hotel right after the event. I thought, how cool, it's a nail event and they gave us makeup and that's just awesome. It was mascara, it was eyeliner, so it was something very suitable for everyone, universal. You know, everyone uses mascara, everyone uses eyeliner. And that's when I got interested. There was some kind of link, can you imagine? Anyway.
Yes.
It works. It really works, yes. Honestly, all brands should take note. Anyone watching, this works really well. And you think, I'm not in makeup, right? I mean, I'm in beauty, but in nails. But still, I got interested. I clicked on some link. I can't even remember now how it happened. And I remember the first product I bought was your black lip balm, the one that smells, well, I think like Coca-Cola. I actually went around trying to find out which store sold it because I really wanted it. It clicked so nicely, you know, that magnetic clasp it had. So yeah, and then it all started with the palettes. I began keeping track of new releases, and honestly, at home, well, you just sent me a few more now, right? And I pretty much have almost everything, I guess. It was really cool. I mean, I fell in love with your brand back then, and then I remember when you were at Intercharm. I refused to leave until I reached your booth. It was hard for me to get there because I have my own issues and getting around is difficult for me. But still, I made it and bought another palette there. I remember it was a more reddish one. I remember.
That was exactly the moment when I met you in person.
Really close?
Because I was approaching the booth and you were already leaving. But since you're easy to spot in a crowd, the girls said, look, that's Alyona. Alyona Lavrentieva came to us. She bought a palette. Look, Natasha. And I knew about you because this time you were the host of Nail Charm.
Yes, Nail Charm. Yes, we had a small stage there.
Yes, and I remember thinking, oh, how cool, wow, it would be great to come up with something with a girl like that. She's so bright and striking herself. Then, when I found out how many followers you have and how popular you are as a beauty blogger, well, I realized that I had to set a goal.
Well, I guess that's when we kind of connected. Yeah, honestly, I was really happy when I got the collaboration offer. I was just shocked because Well, nail brands are something I'm used to, but this was a completely different niche. Of course, it interested me. And the opportunity to actually create a product from scratch, I mean, to really make it the way I want, not the way it was originally.
Let me tell you a little bit about our process, about how it all happens. Because I'm sure there are people watching us right now who also dream of becoming members of the Russian Beauty Guru community. And maybe right now you and I are laying the foundation for some future collaborations. So I'll tell you a little bit, guys, about where our brand comes from and how we came up with the idea. I'm someone who has been creating local brands in Russia for a long time, and I have many projects that you all know very well. And 5 years ago, I decided that it was time for Russia to have its own Russian cosmetics brand. Back then, of course, it was a bit of a strange idea because the market was full of imported brands that were very popular and well loved. We all bought a lot of foreign brands, but actually we also bought local ones, though in one way or another they somewhat imitated the foreign ones. That's the kind of trend we had, if you remember, 5 years ago. And my idea was to bring out our cultural heritage, all the best things we have in Russia. To look at it, to examine it closely, to understand what exactly is the uniqueness of Russian design, Russian aesthetics, Russian beauty. After all, it's legendary, the stuff of legends. And to create a brand based on this kind of material. And of course, when I even just barely touched on this topic and dug a little deeper, I realized that it's some completely unexplored, vast space of essences and possibilities. I realized that it's impossible to do such a project alone, that it definitely needs to be done by joining forces with other people. Because obviously I live in Russia, I'm Russian, I know a lot about what's happening here, so to speak, in the cultural environment, but that's definitely not everything. And in order to truly create a brand that is rich and filled with meaning, one that contains the very authentic essence of Russian beauty, of course, you need the opinions, skills, and knowledge of many people, and that's how this project was born, Russian Beauty Guru. This is a project where we invite everyone who also cares about this story, about this aesthetic. And for those who would really like to bring their own sensual ideas to life, to create their own product, to fill it with the meanings, names, images, designs, and scents that they feel truly resonate with them. Today, Alyona, you and I will use our product to give everyone our version of what a beautiful Russian manicure is, hand care that you can do and finish with this product. I'm really eager to show these jars already. They turned out so beautiful with a lovely image of Alyona, with her signature features, her iconic orange hair. I'm looking at you and wondering, is your orange hair going away for the summer or what?
Or is it going to stay for a while?
It's a break.
This is a temporary option because I'm going on vacation and there's no point in getting a color treatment right now. It will all just wash out there. So right now I'm in a phase called removing the color. So I'm lightening the roots, leaving the base, but at the same time it will fade a bit in the sun and the pool will help clean it up. And then I'll go back to my usual look. I mean, I don't want to move away from my signature color because not only is it my calling card, but it also feels very natural to me. So as it turned out, I'm really not a blonde, even though I've always had light hair, like you have natural blonde. My own color is light brown. But in the end, I realized that I really like red-orange shades. I feel the most natural in them, as strange as that may sound. Honestly, my hair is part of what makes me recognizable. If I dyed it back to its natural color, I don't think people would recognize me. Well, I admit that's possible. Yeah, well, of course, it's really symbolic.
Your hair color. That's why we decided to put Alyona with different facial expressions on all the packages, showing how she reacted when she tried this fragrance. This delight, this surprise, this thoughtfulness. So that's how we tried to connect your image and your product. I think it turned out pretty cool, although some people look at it and say, wait, is this hair dye?
Seriously? Well, actually, yeah, because we didn't think that through. Yeah, and the legs too.
Yeah, that's why, of course. But hair dye, by the way, keep in mind, maybe that's the next product that's worth it.
Listen, direct pigments are waiting for us because I have a lot of questions about this area. There are brands we work with, but I have some questions about them too. It would be nice, of course, because direct pigments are an interesting thing. By the way, do you know an interesting fact? Direct pigment doesn't damage the hair at all. On the contrary, it actually nourishes the hair. It works like a treatment. Yes, so this lightening that we all do, you know, the powders, right? For example, I use low percentages and some people use high ones. That's what damages the hair. But the direct pigment itself, on the contrary, provides care because the hair also has cuticles, just like nails do. They open up and you need to put something in there, moisturize, nourish, and strengthen the hair. And then actually the hair doesn't fall out because people often tell me, your hair is going to fall out soon. I say, it's been 5 years and my hair hasn't fallen out. It's all about hair care. So I'm ready, just in case.
That's the next story. Tell us about your salon.
The salon, yeah, there's nothing special. Well, how should I put it? Nothing special. I have a pretty big salon.
It just says online that it's one of the largest salons in Russia.
Yes, it's one of the largest salons. Well, not in Russia. I actually haven't compared it in Russia. But in Kazan, yes, we're quite big. It's over 500 square meters. I have a large space with high ceilings. The idea was to make sure it doesn't feel cramped here, so there's a lot of air and openness. I offer different services: manicures, pedicures, hair removal, complex nail work, hair coloring, makeup, and I don't know, lashes. Basically, everything you could want is here. It's a full-service salon, not just about nails, but everything else too. Honestly, I don't really like bragging about my salon or talking about how I have a huge staff and so on, but I do have it, and that's great. That's what I wanted. That's actually how I started. Well, listen, those are people too.
To whom you patiently convey your ideology, how to interact with clients, and how everything should be your vision. And this is your team, which actually implements your ideas. That's really cool. I also have a big team.
Yes.
I have a small team, by the way. We only have about 20, maybe 25 people working in RBG, counting everyone.
Well, it's still not bad, but probably a distinctive feature of my salon is that I don't focus on so-called competitors. I don't see competitors, only colleagues. I don't focus on other salons. We do things our own way, not theirs. That is how the service should look in our minds, what the service should be like. And by the way, regarding our service, we get the highest ratings because we've thought it through from every angle. We regularly conduct our own inspections on this topic because I believe that it's not enough to just do great hair, nails, brows, and lashes. It's also important for the person to feel comfortable. That means they should be greeted warmly and served well and professionally. And even at the appointment booking stage, the service should be there too. That's a must. But we won't go deep into salon business right now. As they say, that's a completely different story. A completely different story.
Yes, but service, Russian service, that's also, how do I put it, legendary. So those who manage to overcome these difficulties are also people of remarkable talent. So it's great that you ended up with such a story. And as for our company, ours is really quite small. It's basically still a project. And during this time, we've made 10 products with Beauty Guru, 10, and Alyona 11, 1. Cool. It's not for nothing, you know, I just briefly went through numerology. Because besides the fact that we're going to talk about the products now, we've also embedded certain meanings into the numbers. Each cream is numbered, and here we have this Lavrentieva number 5.
That's right.
It's not a reference to that famous number 5 at all, because it smells completely different. But still, this love for numbers, love for order, it's one of those things, maybe even one of those values that we have, like you do, with order and numbers.
And numbers are really not my thing at all. I mean, I can't do math. I don't even want to bother with it. That's just my position. I don't work alone, my husband works with me. He really loves numbers and all that. I left that part to him. As for work, yes, when it comes to order, I usually have more of a creative mess. No matter how much I tidy up my studio, it always looks terrible 5 minutes after I start working. When I start filming, which I do almost daily, I'm always busy and still end up with a mess. Right now though, it looks nice here, like everything's in order.
Yeah.
It's better not to see what's happening behind the scenes.
And is this the studio where you shoot your videos?
Yes, I have an office right in the salon where I set everything up and organized it. So there's a lot of equipment here, like cameras and so on. There's a lot of stuff here. There's even a person sitting here with a computer. We're constantly upgrading and improving everything so that the filming is higher quality and more interesting to watch. And again, we don't film like everyone else, we film the way I do. The most important thing is to never copy anyone, but to do everything in your own style. Because, well, there are a lot of clones on the internet right now. Right now, the most common advice from some coach, you know, someone who teaches filming and so on, is like, oh, look at how others film, do the same, like adapt it for yourself. I'm absolutely against that approach. I believe you should create, not copy. But again, that's just my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I always work.
Cool. Well, I love your videos. They're really mesmerizing. I literally sit there and think, wow, I've been watching Alyona do Natasha's nails for 30 minutes already.
Or picking at something else, yeah.
Can't look away. What's going on? It's some kind of magic. I mean, these tiny, fine motor movements, your hands are so skillful and it's filmed so well. Well, and I like how you integrate all those different little drops in there. Honestly, I'm telling you, I buy those Domix products that you talk about. I have a few of those drops, well, because they really do take good care of...
Well, they're good, yes, for skincare. They just have natural oils, that's all. That's the whole point.
Okay, so look, now let's talk about ours. So we came up with the idea for the hand cream line, I think, about 1.5 years ago. And that was because I visited a factory in Vladikavkaz. I'm so sorry that we haven't gone there yet for for the packaging of your products. But for some reason, I think that in the end, we will be able to. We'll get there anyway and meet there. Because I really like this texture. I really like this formula. This cream, the formula of this cream has a huge amount of oils. And look, the ingredients, water is first, of course, but second right away is shea butter. In third place is olive oil. And then oils, oils, oils. Actually, this kind of composition is really cool. It's very, well, these are those very natural oils that we apply. And how did I realize that I absolutely love this cream? First of all, the sensory experience. Secondly, the way the scent lives in it. Because if the formula isn't natural or if there's something in it, after a while, even the scent becomes a bit chemical. I mean, it starts to reveal the chemical composition of the product. Here, the scent lasts for a very long time and unfolds beautifully in this texture. That's why we really love and appreciate it so much. It's not cheap, but believe me, it contains all these smoothing, nourishing, and softening ingredients that really take great care of the skin on your hands. This year, for some reason, I'm really suffering from dryness of my face and skin. I don't know why. Maybe we have a dry winter here in Moscow. But this is the only salvation, this cream. I realize that I have different creams lying around everywhere. I'm constantly testing something, trying something new. But in the end, I still apply it in the evening. I always apply it. Our cream comes in different scents. And I use it specifically to save myself from this terrible dryness. How about you? Please tell me, what about you? Do you have any experience using different creams? And which ones do you like?
Listen, honestly, I'm kind of paranoid and I constantly use creams. I think I've just had an occupational hazard for a long time. I'm the kind of person who won't go outside without gloves. already, I don't know, maybe even when it's +10 outside, well, because my skin gets chapped, it's prone to dryness, and I don't like it when everything starts to crack. My knuckles actually crack right here, so when I bend them, it's not great. That's why I'm probably someone who bathes in creams, oils, and all sorts of things like that, and hand serums and so on and so on. So our creams are already spread out everywhere in my place. I think I've already used up about half of them. But I really tested them, honestly, even in the early stages. Then when you sent me the tubes, yes. So I was constantly testing, what can I say? I like that our cream absorbs quickly. It's a really good product for clients. Once again, yes, this isn't about some kind of salon treatment. It's a tube you can put in your bag. It's a tube you can keep on your nightstand by the bed, yes. When you're rushing off to work, you can quickly put some on your hand and so on. That's how I use it. It's convenient for me. I quickly apply it to the back of my hand and spread it like this. Even on your palms, the stickiness fades quickly as it absorbs fast. And it feels like, well, how should I put it? Once it's absorbed, it's not wet. It's as if there's not much water in the formula, really. Of course, I'm not a chemist, you know? But you get this feeling of some kind of enveloping effect, you know? It's quite pleasant.
Just a pleasant feeling remains on the skin. And, well, I don't know, I rarely find this in other creams, and I really appreciate it in ours. But I'll tell you another story about this cream that completely blew me away. So it's clear that water is always present in the composition of any cream. Yes, it's, well, technologically necessary because oil can't be dissolved. And water is the best for interacting with the skin. But our creams are not made with water. But our creams are made with hydrolates. Can you imagine? There, at that factory, I might even attach a video for you right in this video. There is a separate room where hydrolates are kept in these plastic bottles. And at this factory, they make these hydrolates themselves. And they make them right there in bags with herbs, harvested ones. In the Caucasus, they go up there and collect these herbs, Vladikavkaz, from the top of the mountains. You can see them everywhere, greenery, a huge amount of greenery and nature. They go up and harvest these herbs. Next, there's this thing with a kind of copper pipette.
Listen, as you're describing this right now, I just imagined that scene from the movie Perfume. Well, of course, the context there wasn't very good, but if you relate it to roses, that's kind of how it happens, like when he was collecting those scents at the stage with the flowers.
They use this dried herb, and with that copper pipette bought in Portugal, which they heat up. So they make these hydrolates, store them in a separate room, and then use them to produce their products. So when I saw all this craftsmanship, I completely fell in love with it. I adore this production. They really have very high standards. Yes, they work with their own products, and we are one of their clients. That's why I'm very happy that we were also able to expand our product line. I think many of you have already seen our line of hand creams in stores, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the most popular one is called "This is what a wallet with money smells like." Everyone laughs at our names.
Just like you.
I mentioned straight hands, but we come up with such cool names to attract attention to our product. Meanwhile, let me read you the meaning of the number 6. Number 6 is harmony, care, sensitivity, and attentiveness. And here is this turquoise jar. And here is this wonderful scent. It really smells a little bit like mint and tomato. You can imagine what kind of combination that is.
Listen, the problem with scents is that we can talk about them endlessly, but it's nothing compared to when someone actually experiences it for themselves. So of course, we'll try to describe it, but you really have to experience it for yourself.
Yes, you have to experience it for yourself, but I think the salon format, the way professionals use this product, is actually really good. Because I bought a lot of hand creams thanks to my manicurist, who always uses a cream after a manicure. I like the scent, I like how it feels, and I buy that cream. Does that ever happen?
That happens absolutely all the time. During the procedure, you apply something and they ask what it is, if they can buy it from you or where to get it. So as an option, I also consider selling products to clients in the salon. So I plan to set up a stand with creams in the salon so that clients can also have the opportunity to purchase them. Well, I also want to say that there is just amazing news. These creams will be available at Gold Apple. I understand that I got ahead of myself, but I also want to say that I think it's great. For me, it's a certain level. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this product is great and accessible to a large number of people. Well, you can even order it online, and the best part is when you go there. I really love going there. I just absolutely adore being there because you can actually touch everything, smell it, try it on, and so on. It's really great.
The RBG brand has been working with Gold Apple from the very beginning, and we are very grateful to our partners for supporting us when we were still just starting out. They placed us in big major stores. Now we are expanding. And we are very well represented on the Gold Apple website. Well, we are represented on other platforms as well. That includes Wildberries, Ozone, our wonderful marketplaces. But as soon as we have the opportunity, we will let you know. In the meantime, I have opened number 5. The meaning of the number 5 is diversity, spiritual physics, physical freedom, new experiences of understanding the world. And this fragrance smells like neroli and amber. It's a bit, a little bit oriental, a little bit elevated. Maybe it's a bit like a fragrance for an oriental princess. Neroli and amber. Or maybe not even a princess, but a prince. Because all fragrances like this one are, well, unisex. Both a guy and a girl can use them. And they, with such, well, very beautiful perfume compositions. But it's about variety, spiritual physics, physical freedom, new experiences, and discovering the world. Rather, such a young yet ambitious prince. That's what I see in this fragrance. And Alyona is so funny here.
Laughing, cheerful, that's true. And by the way, men actually, jokes aside, but men are actively using these services now. We have a lot of men coming in for manicures and pedicures. Well, besides the standard barber services, they even get their hair colored, and some even get bright hair colors. So it's quite logical that a man can use cream too, and honestly, he should be using it because they're not very good with gloves. That's one bad statistic I have. Men don't like to use gloves in the cold season, but you can get them to start using cream.
But actually men have a problem, like sweaty palms, for example. Many complain to me that their hands are always sweaty, I can tell you.
The problem of hyperhidrosis of the hands and feet actually doesn't have any gender association. It can happen to anyone. So, well, those are my statistics.
Well, yes, you know better. But that's just how I've come across it myself. And that's why a cream that really gives you the ability to control this situation, why not? By the way, we should ask the technologist how suitable our cream is for different problems. Next, I'm opening cream number 7. Alyona is so mysterious and flirtatious here. And the meaning of the number 7 is harmony, care, sensitivity, and attentiveness. And here there's the scent of sage and sea salt. There is a famous fragrance with sea salt from another quite well-known brand. Guys like it too, let's check it out. Yes, I think it's also a bit universal. It's for everyone, both men and women. With this characteristic, a scent that's a bit like sand and water. Well, that real sea salt scent that you can't mistake for anything else. It's a really cool fragrance. It looks so nice. And look, the packaging is blue. Yeah. I think it can be used for both boys and girls. All right, our next number is number 8. The meaning of the number 8 is prosperity, wealth, stability, reliability, dependability, and success. 8 is such a powerful number that numerologists say if a person with the number 8 appears in your life, it means there will be a breakthrough, success, and at the same time, great challenges. What are your general thoughts on numerology and how much do you enjoy it?
Don't like it, like it? Well, the thing is, honestly, I don't really have any opinion about it because I don't know anything about numerology. I've never looked into it. Some numbers, but there are numbers that I like the number 13 and the number 4. As far as I know, in numerology, everything gets added up, so 13 would still end up as 4. I also like 7s.
13 is also 4?
Yes, for example, I like 7s, but I don't even know what causes this preference of mine.
7 will be your favorite.
Well, yes, maybe. Sea salt. Well, I don't really know anything about numerology. I mean, that's just how it happened in my life. But there are people who are really into it, I know. I mean, some people attach a lot of importance to it. If I have the chance, yes, I will choose my favorite numbers. Well, I can't even say why they're my favorite. Maybe there's something hidden in that. Well, I mean, it's possible, yes. Yes, it's probably on some kind of inner, level that I feel it, but I don't really know anything about it. Well, but you see, I have so much ahead of me. I can still study numerology.
To be honest, I don't really know anything either, except for what I see in some reels on social media. Those random bits, like a person. I was born on the 4th, so I'm a number 4 person, and that's supposed to mean something. A number 7 person means something else. I listen to things like that, it's interesting to me. Yeah, but still, I think it's a really popular thing among different people. And we also think that maybe at some point we could do something like, I don't know, fortune telling with a cross.
No, but listen, from a marketing and product promotion perspective, this concept will definitely resonate with a certain percentage of people. And there will be people who will buy it. Oh, because there's a 5 or a 7, that's my number, that's what I need right now. For example, yes, for enhancement, whatever it is they have. What gets enhanced, that's what it's for. And that's also a cool option. So 8, prosperity.
Wealth, stability, reliability. Can you imagine how cool that is, just like that?
Yes, you buy.
You think I need to strengthen my financial base.
Well, Natasha, to be honest, of course.
I will use it.
I'm one of those people who still believe that in order to strengthen your, prosperity or financial situation, you need to work a little bit, and all of this will be a nice bonus, of course.
To work, you need to be in a good mood, have the right mindset.
Energy, that's what I meant. But here
you go, you have wild berries, pear, orchid.
The scent, with the help of the cream, such a strawberry scent, we can change our mood, the way we feel about ourselves, because after all, when your hands aren't feeling tight, that's a really nice extra feature, right? When you put it on and you're not thinking about something being too tight, it's not bothering you, it's not distracting you, it's not ruining your mood. So to some extent, yes, fragrance number 7 might suit someone because it simply improves your mood and maybe even gives you more self-confidence. Most importantly, it will do its main job. Because we remember, right, that the formula is natural and the ingredients in this cream are specifically designed to restore, protect and care for the skin on our hands and other parts of the body if you want to apply it there too.
And our next scent is with bergamot and sandalwood. This purple one is very warm, but actually, as you can see, all the shades are pastel. Yes. So we tried to make this line of creams as pastel as possible, although our first collection, as you can see, is black. They're bold. Once we release them, people will compare the scent saying, this one is similar to that, and so on. To be honest, I haven't really looked into it or checked. I don't know if you have, Alyona. But at Gold Apple, you can walk around, compare, or ask the consultants what our fragrances are similar to. Because one way or another, there is a certain trend, and we chose the most commercial ones. The fragrances are from the supplier who offered them to us so that they would really be, well, like that, because they are very long-lasting, and when you apply them you use your hands and somehow you keep smelling this fragrance constantly. That's a little detail.
Yes, you can choose a cream scent to match your own, for example, your perfume. And then they will complement each other well, including in cases when you don't carry perfume with you, you can always use the cream instead. And that's really great. Yes,
Girls.
What's up?
I feel like this number 10 is going to be my true love. Because it smells so divine, it just smells impossibly delicious, like something Oh, I don't know. Now everyone will laugh at my inspiration.
Inspiration.
That's what inspiration smells like, really. This is number 10, bergamot and sandalwood. And the meaning of the number 10, harmony, a new beginning, balance, determination, energy. Alyona, that's exactly what we need right now to launch the sales of this product. And please pay attention, on the RBG website there is already. Very soon there will be a link at the bottom where you can order all these products, all these creams, of course, with a good discount. 30% off for a few days of pre-sale.
I think it would be fair to start by saying how much the cream will cost and what kind of savings you can get in the near future.
So, for the sake of fairness, let's talk about numbers and numerology since we're on that topic. The price of this wonderful cream is 999 rubles, and for our first customers, our early birds, we are offering a 30% discount. On the website russianbeauty.ru, the link is below the video. Alyona will also always have her guru promo code, which she will periodically send you, and it will also give you the opportunity to get a discount, both on the website, on marketplaces, and on our partners' websites.
And it will also work on marketplaces. I just didn't know that it works somewhere on Wildberries or Ozone. So that's it.
That's it. On Ozone, you can create a promo code and get a discount. On Ozone, you can. On Wildberries, it's all more complicated.
Technically.
But we can also make special offers.
I want to say that I will definitely leave links to various social networks for Russian Beauty. Ru, because I have also been subscribed to you for quite a long time. And I especially like it when there are some lessons, some basic simple ones, like how to apply eyeshadow, where to put contour, and so on and so forth. So this information will definitely be absolutely useful for all of us because we need to know where and what to apply. I talk about nails both on the hands and feet, but RussianBeauty.ru, of course, focuses on the most important thing, which is the center of a person, the face.
And could you, for example, do a little mini masterclass on how to take care of your cuticles and nails at home? Maybe tell us what things shouldn't be done.
I plan to film a masterclass like that a little later. Right now I'm waiting for some special safe nail files to arrive. And I actually have an idea to film a masterclass where I'll show how to take care of your nails between manicures, between these procedures. So it doesn't end up with biting or chewing off excess skin, because that's a common problem. So that it's as minimally traumatic as possible. I mean, just a simple short lesson on how you can file the dry skin here and when you should apply cream. So you shouldn't do this 2 seconds before going outside either. Because despite the miracle formula, if you go out in -20 with fresh cream on, nothing good will happen. So this kind of lesson is definitely planned. Everything will be covered.
Great, that's really wonderful. It's very useful because we understand that the face is, of course, the first thing people see when they interact with each other, but the beauty of hands is such a...
Listen, let's put it this way. The skin on our hands ages earlier, and the skin on our hands always gets a little less care, love, and attention. Because, well, you know, if we do something with our face at the cosmetologist, very few women actually go so far as to do something with their hands. That's why you need to protect them right from the very beginning without waiting until they get into a not so good condition. That's why I always talked a lot about hands to my clients. When I was just working as a specialist, I paid a lot of attention specifically to home care. Sure, here's a simple example. We can dye our hair however we like, even to the perfect blonde. But if at home you use shampoo that's not for colored hair, not for blondes, and you don't use masks, moisturizing, or nourish the cuticle, the hair, and so on, then of course your super expensive hair color will turn into a mess. And then it starts. They ruined my hair. Or, oh, I have. After a manicure, my cuticle is peeling. Of course, your cuticle peels if you wash dishes afterward. With a product I don't know, like that same fairy or something, for heaven's sake, and you don't use gloves, but mind you, that's a chemical that cleans the grease off your plates. I mean, these are really basic things that no one ever takes into account. That's why home care is absolutely important everywhere. Your hair, your hands, your feet, your face. Even with your face, you can get treatments from a cosmetologist, you can do a million different masks, but they'll still sell you something to use at home. That's normal. After salon visits or beauty treatments, it's essential to use home care products like creams and oils, otherwise the results won't last. Just because you paid for it once doesn't mean you bought it. Well, you know, it eventually runs out. It's like a diet. You go on it, you lose weight, but you'll gain it back if you go back to eating like before. So you have to keep going. This applies to absolutely everything. Even if you just renovated your house, if you don't clean up, your renovation will quickly fall apart. And are you going to blame the builders for that? Of course not. That's why absolutely everything should be sold to the client for home care. I really love upselling in the salon, whether it's from the specialist, the salon itself, or the administrator. I don't see it as pushing something, I see it as caring. For the client, it's care. Because we want the client to enjoy the pleasant after effects of the procedure for as long as possible, and to achieve that, something needs to be done.
And tell us, please, can we hear from you, for example, about what kind of nails are fashionable right now? Because I hear a lot that it's no longer fashionable to wear gel nails, and now it's trendy to just go completely natural.
Let me answer this question for you very easily. It's easy to answer. When it comes to nails, absolutely everything is always in fashion because nails are just a kind of accent. I am disciple, and right now both bare nails, yes, the ones without any polish, and nails that imitate bare nails are in fashion. So actually they do have a coating, kind of like makeup, that looks like you're not wearing any, but you actually spend 3 hours doing it, something like that, right? Exactly, it's the same story. That's how it is in fashion. There can be long nails, medium length, or bright ones. So really, it just depends on how a person sees themselves. Look around, yes, even in Moscow, if you look at the girls, they're all very different. They don't all dress in the old money style like copies of each other. There are so many different types of girls, each with their own unique beauty, and it's absolutely normal that they want to choose something new. And regarding this so-called trend for bare nails, nails without any polish, well, first of all, this option is chosen by those who really want to save time, because having natural nails is much easier than nails with artificial coating. And actually nowadays there are good polishes too. Everything is now available, including alternative coating options. But the problem lies in marketing, because every brand or every, what is it called? Well, not technologist, I forgot the word, the one who teaches, what's the word, help me. Yes, not a salesperson, an instructor, oh my God, that's it. So every brand or every instructor, they always promote their own. And someone just has to make a video, yes, about how now everyone has stopped using the coating because it supposedly causes cancer. Blah, 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 she heard it, went and did this nonsense, yes, for us. And then I have to buy those protective gloves. Well, it just became funny, so it's like something just popped up somewhere and it starts to take over and everyone thinks, well, I guess that's how it is. There are those who are followers, yes, who think, well, they said it's trendy, so I guess that's how it should be. And those who are afraid of what others might think about them, there's just so much of that. I've never really cared what anyone thinks or believes. Like, if I like walking around with red hair, I'll do it. If I like having different nails on each hand, I'll do that too. And before that, I just walked around. I went out.
Yeah, I noticed that you have different nails on each hand.
Yeah, and before that, I didn't have any nail polish. Well, I was just too lazy. I was lazy, I just didn't feel like it.
You started this trend, right?
No, I'm just telling you, I'm asking Alyona, why don't you have any nail polish? I say, I'm just too lazy, I just really don't feel like it. Can you imagine? I was in that kind of mood. And then at some point something switched in me and I wanted to do it again. Neither one is trendy, it's just that right now this matches my inner state, my nails are completely clear.
Well, you see, you're so self-sufficient. There are girls who want to follow trends, but honestly, I'm lazy too. I rarely get manicures. And I was always kind of embarrassed that I don't go and get them done very often.
There's nothing terrible about that.
Because I just don't have time for that. But now I'm, oh my God, free because it's become a trend.
Yes, we start our own trends. I mean, just remember, how long? 3 years of the brand. How long have you been around?
3?
It will be 4, yes, 3.5. So apparently you got into that gift bag right at the launch, and then the Russian cosmetics brand, it was something very strange. It was something so new that it just didn't make sense, because everyone had this strong feeling that like Russians couldn't make good cosmetics. Well, that's exactly how it was, and that's good. I remember when you had to order Dior, Chanel, like Tom Ford, and what else did we have? Bobbi Brown, for those crazy prices and so on. And by the way, it doesn't always work that well. I have a lot of different cosmetics. I really love cosmetics. I actually adore them. My cabinets can't close because I have so many palettes, foundations, and other stuff. So when I saw it, I also had this moment like a Russian cosmetics brand. I mean, it's kind of strange, but now it's trendy, like everything Russian is turning into a trend. I mean, yeah, at first Russia was almost being cancelled, and then on the contrary, it becomes popular. You'll notice online there are videos with Russian songs and things like that. And now just a little more time and everything Russian will be an ultra trend. And how?
Well, we have to go through this journey from complete denial through all these stages, and then to acceptance and enjoying it. But this moment of enjoyment, of course, should be accompanied by what we've done. Great products, high quality ingredients.
Beautiful designs. Look,
we control the process. And of course, that's exactly what we're all working on right now. Well, that's what we're working on.
Well, about the acceptance.
That's exactly our job, to engage people and inspire their trust so they can see how we create, what we care about, and what's important to us. And to make them believe that our people really can do it, because our people can is kind of our internal slogan.
Yes, of course.
We came up with this project long before everyone else.
No, well, look, about before these events and the acceptance of this, as you say, yes, this Russian brand, actually, all the acceptance happens simply at the moment when you use it for the first time. It's very easy, so you don't even need to worry too much about it, because for me, I just had to open this eyeliner, try it, it really fits comfortably in my hand, it's really great, and I had no issues with the mascara either. That's it, acceptance happened just like that. It only took about 10 seconds to go from what is this weird Russian thing to, oh, what a cool product. There shouldn't be any issue with brand acceptance, and I'm sure others feel the same way. So, I mean, that's if you really don't suffer from those stereotypes that nothing good can be made in Russia at all. They definitely can. Everyone has learned. They even managed to make cheese, right? We couldn't make mozzarella before, but now we figured it out. Even burrata and more. They solved it, so cosmetics aren't a problem either. Well, I mean, people, especially those who know about this, who have other cosmetics, you can clearly see how it works. It's simple, so everything will be great.
I want to thank Alyona for joining our Russian Beauty Guru project. It's really cool, it's great when such influential people join our project. I have high hopes for this collaboration, for this red-haired beauty who will make the product popular. Maybe it's not really for makeup, but for manicures, for hands, for feet. I absolutely love it myself. It's a cream and I have high hopes for its sales, so keep an eye on our content. Stay tuned for what we'll be sharing with you. There will be a lot of new, useful, interesting and unusual things. Because you see, Alina is such a self-sufficient, very interesting person who follows her own path. We are the same, so let's stick together. See you soon. Thank you very much.
I would also like to sum up. I want to say a big thank you to Natasha as well for the trust she has shown me. It is also very, very valuable to me. And I won't say anything extraordinary. There will just be a link. There's a pre-order and later you can buy it at Gold Apple. We will definitely show how it will all look, because of course I want to go there and see it with my own eyes, since I still don't quite believe it yet. And I am definitely very, very proud that I became part of the Russian Beauty Guru team. Now I'm a bit of your guru too.